Peace, peace, peace. So I'm I'm reading this. Mo Gengat is amazing, amazing hip hop lawyer. Like he gets down to the bottom of it. You understand? Like I can do so much research and so much diligence looking up things and making sure that I find the proper information, but I can honestly say dealing with certain attorneys and lawyers who are credible is an amazing thing because they stay on top of their game. That's what they do for a living. They get paid for it. You understand? Um, so one thing I have been noticing is that throughout the conversations that I've had building with my team and different individuals, this young dude, Mr. Snitch 9, he um is really an agent. I wanna tell you guys how I kind of figured out something wasn't right. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys, right. If you look at the Hulu document. All right, you look at the Hulu documentary, right, with Snitch 9, right. Notice that when he's being kidnapped by the so-called people that he say kidnapped him, right? The ones that he got locked up. Notice there's a camera in the back of the SUV pointing towards the front of the SUV. There's literally a camera there. I don't understand why nobody said, hold on, why would there be a camera surveilling? How did they get footage of him being kidnapped? Because he's an agent, number one. Number two, for years, I've heard people always say, do not, I repeat, do not get a vehicle with OnStar on it. Why have I heard people tell me do not get a vehicle with OnStar? Because OnStar records your conversation. OnStar will film whatever's going on inside your vehicle without your permission. This is all government technology, people. Be smart. I don't need anybody surveilling me while I'm driving my vehicle. I don't need none of that. So let's continue. Now that I'm done with that, now we can continue. Okay. So in the last week of April, right, 42 Dugg and Mr. Snitch 9, they engaged in verbal warfare online, right? So I noticed that when everything started, it was like an incident where this dude supposedly pulled up on like Little Durk. Escalated into negotiations for like a celebrity boxing match, and towards the end of their exchange, 42 Dugg playfully mentioned the federal government and the FBI. The only problem is that the Detroit rapper was supposed to have reported to prison March 12th, but he never showed up. As a result, the feds went looking for him shortly after he got into it online with Snitch 9, right? The lawyer caught wind of it, Mo, of 42 Dugg's predicament with the feds. And he went to work. Mo went to work. So look what Mo said. Did the back and forth between 42 Dugg and Snitch 9 because the feds escalated their pursuit of 42 Dugg? I would actually say absolutely yes. It is because of any rapper that goes back and forth with this dude, you're going to be on the radar. I'm telling you right now. I'm sitting here doing I've been paying attention ever since the incident happened. Ever since the incident happened, I've been paying attention to it. Please, y'all, listen. Stay away from him. I would advise all rappers, stay away from this dude because it is not safe. It's not safe. Everybody who comes across him and has an issue with him, you're on the radar. It seems like the feds, the CIA, they have a big interest in hip hop, in the urban community. And whatever they need to do in order to decimate and break up whatever structures that we have, they're going to do it. So pay attention to these agents who've been planted in our culture. Pay attention. They're turning some of our own people against us. Why? Because there's a lot of people out there that fall victim to the facades of life. Money, cars, all the extra. Nobody cares. Who cares? Yeah, money's good. It's nice to have transportation. Cool. I don't really care too much about jewelry. You understand? I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Especially, I mean, if I'm collecting it, gold or something like that, coins, that's one thing. Chains and all that, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Broke people show off jewelry and chains. That's what broke people do. Nobody cares about that. You know why? You know broke people do it? Because a lot of these people in the industry are broke right now. This is why they're on social media, doing the most right now, trying to get tips on Instagram, trying to make money. You understand? This game is really wicked. Top of the morning, Rain. This is a wicked game. But there's agents. You know what I mean? Hip hop has been compromised for over two, three decades. Hip hop it's crazy because hip hop is pretty fresh. But hip hop has been compromised for over 20 years. Freeway Ricky Ross told us. Freeway Ricky Ross. So y'all watch Snowfall, but y'all don't know. A lot of people haven't took the time to learn the story of the real Freeway Ricky Ross, the man who was making $1 to $3 million a day because of the work he was getting from Oliver North through that agent in order to move the entire. He shifted. He was waging the money he was making was going back to Oliver North. This man was part of the military. Do you guys understand? Like, how do we sit here and watch these shows and get so enthused and we get caught up in these shows, but we don't pay attention to the fact that these are all signs. All of this stuff leads back to us. We watching Snowfall like it's some big gimmick, like it's a game. Go look up the real story about this man. He's been warning us. He's been telling us for years that we have agents in hip hop. Freeway Ricky Ross, the guy that they're using Franklin as on Snowfall to play. He's been telling us for years. The FBI, the CIA have a big interest in black culture and entertainment. He said it to us years ago, over 20 years ago. And what did we do? We paid no attention to it. What did the older people do? They didn't pass the knowledge down. What did the people who had, like, what are we doing? You gotta wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up. You understand? Like Larry Davis, prime example. The cops were going to his apartment and giving him work. When he wanted to stop selling work for the cops came after him. He set the cops on a 13-day manhunt throughout New York City. He shut New York City down for like 2 weeks. They could not find him. Why? Because he was running for his life because of these crooked officers who sold him work. You guys don't understand. Like, please, 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 please. This is a situation I'm not going to talk much on. I probably won't be speaking too much on it for a long time. I probably won't say nothing for a while. It's very rare that I want to come on here and talk about this. I probably talk about this once every year. I spoke about it last year where I let everybody know that this dude is an agent. I let everybody know this dude is an agent. You understand? When I saw the documentary of him getting kidnapped, I told everybody, pay attention to the vehicle. Why would they have a camera in the back of the SUV filming the entire kidnapping? That doesn't make sense. Who has footage of them being kidnapped? Like when are y'all gonna wake up? I understand what's going on, but when are y'all gonna wake up? Because I saw that and immediately Spidey senses went off. Manuka senses went off. I said, hold up. How is he filmed? Like, how does he have that on film? How did they capture that on film? Because that's a closed case right there. That's a closed case. Wake up, people. Like, for real. Facts. The fix is in. How? Nobody, a whole setup, Rain, a whole setup. Everybody watched the documentary, but nobody said to themselves, yo, why is it that we can see him being kidnapped? We're not supposed to see that. Nobody I know can say, yo, I don't personally know anybody. Maybe y'all do, but I don't personally know anybody that can sit here and tell me, yo, I got footage of me being kidnapped. What? Who's filming that? The person kidnapping you don't want that on film. And I'm pretty sure they didn't even know they were being filmed. They didn't even know they were being filmed. Did the driver know? I don't know. I don't know if he knew. But I know that young agent, Mr. Snitch 9, he knew. He knew what was going on, but nobody else knew. We watched the documentary, and I sat there and talked to so many people, and so many people, not one person said to me, yo, you know what I noticed in that documentary? There was a camera in the back of the SUV filming him. Do not trust OnStar. Do not. Do not trust OnStar. Never had a vehicle with OnStar in it. Ever. I don't need no assistance. I don't need nobody calling to me from a remote area and unlocking my car or taking control of my vehicle. That's not what I want. I don't need that. But people see these type of things and they say, you know what? That's cool. I think I would like that. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys something. When we had those attacks in New York City 20 years ago, 21 years ago, when we had those attacks on New York City, all that happened after that was that gave these people in our country, the powers that be, it gave them an excuse to invade our privacy. It gave them an excuse to invade our privacy. It did. I'm talking about everything from OnStar to the phone calls, to the emails, to everything. Why? And I'm not saying that they haven't been doing this for a long time, but the attack on those towers, that was the icing on the cake. They started putting out statistics. They started doing polls. They started going all over the country and running these statistics and these polls and asking people, surveys rather, asking people, hey, how do you feel if we did this? How do you feel if we did that? How do you feel if we did that? And some of these multiple choice questions, oh, that's fine. I'm a patriot. Oh, that's okay. Oh, I agree. And people were agreeing. So you know what they did? They said, okay, cool. Since you guys already agree, not to get off topic, but Elon Musk is on it. This is why he's buying everything up. Exactly. Because when you start owning and you create your own system, it makes it hard for them to penetrate your system without disturbing the public and without everybody seeing it. Because now, for instance, there was something that happened in Florida a few years ago. Well, more than a few, but there was something that happened in Florida. And when the feds wanted to get into the phone, Apple refused to give up the methods to get into that cell phone. They refused to do it. Refused. Why were they able to do that and get away with that? Because in their policy, their loyalty is to their customer. That's number one. Nowhere would they be able to violate that. Because if Apple violated that, do you know how the customers would view them a worldly aspect. Do you know how many people have shit on their phone that they don't want out? It doesn't matter if they're alive or dead, but this person was gone, deceased, rest in peace. And they tried to get into that phone and Apple said, no, we're not going to help you do that. The person's gone, so it doesn't even matter. But we're definitely not going to let you do it now, especially since they passed away. It doesn't matter if they committed a crime or not. They're gone. We're not going to help you get into that phone. It's quiet. That's what people have to do. Ownership. This is why the Barclays Center can still tell people, yo, we know that it's not a pandemic anywhere else. We know that New York City said y'all don't got to wear a mask. But when you walk up in this Barclays Center, you got to wear a mask. That's why they can make their own rules. Why? Because they created something and their corporation and their large business says, oh, we can do whatever we want during business hours. When you walk in our establishment, you follow our rules, not the city's rules or the state's rules. You follow our rules. And that's what we have to understand when it comes to business and ownership. Steve Jobs' motivation was different. Elon is one to keep an eye out for. Salute to you, Rain. Absolutely. One thing I will say, Steve Jobs was amazing. Steve Jobs was amazing, man. He was before his time. Bill Gates has nothing on Steve Jobs. Sad to say, you know, they're both developers, creators. Steve Jobs was amazing, man. He was great at his work, man. It's sad that with all that money that he had, he couldn't even find a proper treatment for his pancreatic cancer. Because, you know, all the money in the world can't save you from a natural illness or something that is just inevitable. When it's time, it's time. Money can't save you. But it's just sad that he had to go like that. Right? The eye in the sky is now on the ground. And more importantly, I do want to say that even with a company like Apple saying, no, we're not going to let you into the cell phone, what happens is now is we wind up giving up so much rights and access with all of these apps we download. Every time we hit accept the policy, every time we hit accept, we're giving up our rights on so much stuff and we don't even know it. So when you hit accept, before you hit accept on these apps that you're downloading, before you do certain things, make sure you're aware of what's going on. Because they tell you we are collecting data, personalized data, to be more familiar with what you like, and we are going to share this across other platforms to give you a better experience and interaction. They tell you this in the policy of damn near every app you download, but we still continue to just hit accept and give all of our rights away. As individuals, it happens. Please, y'all, stay on point, man. Stay on point. Love, life, and loyalty is the motto. Stay safe, stay real, stay true. Y'all rock with 6K. I rock with you. Stay tuned. I'll be back, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody, man. NYC Media. Shout out to my team, the control room. Shout out to everybody, man. Just be safe out there, y'all. Please, man. Just know that there are agents in hip-hop. There are agents in hip-hop. They've infiltrated us. It's been like this for over 20 years. Salute.